All right, guys, we've got two LA kids that are so starstruck right now.
Just stop recording.
We've never been starstruck.
Stop recording.
Hey everyone, today we want to tell you a story about a journey that Colette and I decided to embark on that started all the way back in 2011. We watched the now famous documentary, Jiro Dreams of Sushi. It's on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, watch it after you watch this video. And because of that video, we were motivated to travel all the way around the world to Tokyo to go visit the best sushi restaurant in the world.
We're here. We flew around the world for this. We're at Ginza Station. We're about to go eat at Sukiyabashi Jiro. That's right. We flew over 5,000 miles for one meal.
And so we get a lot of questions when we tell people we did this. They ask us, how did you do it? How much was it? Is it worth it? And we're going to tell you all those things right now. So this documentary was about a master artist chef who has practiced sushi close to 75 years.
Because of his passion and pursuit of perfection, Sukiyabashi Jiro was awarded the world's first 3 Michelin star award for a sushi restaurant.
1, 2, 3.
This really perfect, nice restaurant is in a subway station. What?
So a little info on Michelin star ratings. So the Michelin rating guide is done by an independent rating organization which began its roots tied to the Michelin tires. They created this Michelin rating system to get people out on the road, driving around, visiting restaurants in hopes to buy more tires.
That's pretty smart. I actually didn't know that little fact.
Yes. And so their rating system 1, 2, and 3. So 1 star is a very good restaurant. 2 star is worth a detour. And a 3 star is exceptional cuisine worth a special journey.
So a 2 Michelin star restaurant worthy of a detour means that if you're in the country, you should get your butt over there. A 3 Michelin star restaurant means it's worthy of a special trip, just like what we did where we flew around the world for one meal at Sukiyabashi Jiro.
So now that we've whet your appetite, some of the questions we get asked most: what was the cost and is it worth it? And now we're not going to sugarcoat this. This is a very expensive meal. Just the food alone, the omakase, which is the only thing they serve, is $300 a person. And that is shocking. It shocked us. And yes, that's a lot of money, but I hope that after we tell you our story, you'll understand why it's worth it and why it's worth the trip.
So one of the top questions that we get asked is, how do I get a reservation? So the way that we made a reservation at Jiro was, 1, we booked a flight on miles. This means that we can easily cancel that flight with no penalty. 2, we booked a hotel on booking.com. On booking.com, there are a plethora of hotels that have a free cancellation policy. So what we recommend to do, book a 5-star hotel in Tokyo that has a free cancellation policy. Make sure that it has the free cancellation policy. Don't screw yourself over. So the final step in getting a reservation at Jiro is to have a native Japanese speaker call for you. And this is where the concierge from the 5-star hotel comes in. On the 1st of the month for the following month, so April 1st for all of May, May 1st for all of June, so on and so forth, your concierge will call Jiro and try to get you a much coveted reservation at the sushi bar.
So what we did is we booked 5 nights at the Park Hotel in Tokyo. And we asked the concierge to call Sukiyabashi Jiro on behalf of us and book a reservation at any time. And we had the plan that if we didn't get the reservation that trip, we were going to cancel it and move it to the next month.
And our concierge said that there was a 20% chance of us getting this reservation and not to get our hopes up. Luckily, on our first try, we got a reservation at Sukiyabashi Jiro for one of the 5 nights that we were going to be in Tokyo. We were able to keep our reservations at our hotel and our flight reservation, and we didn't have to push it to the next month.
So now that we have our hotel, our flights, and the coveted reservation, let us tell you about the experience. So when you walk in, the restaurant only seats 10 people. And when we walked in, there was only one other couple at the far end of the bar. And the famous Jiro was standing behind the sushi bar.
He was right there.
With his son next to him.
So when we sat down, a hostess came up to us and she translated everything into English because Jiro and his son do not speak English.
She walked us through the simple process of what would be served that evening and asked us, was there anything that we didn't like or if we had any allergies?
She took us through the entire 20-course omakase menu, and she also asked us if we wanted any alcoholic beverages. Now, we didn't realize that you could drink there, so we said yes.
Sake, please.
Sake to me. We had the best sake we've ever had, and we still can't find the bottle. Maybe you can help us. But we had the best sake ever, making our total probably around $700 US for the two of us to eat and drink at Sukiyabashi Jiro. I know that's really steep, but I would do it again in a heartbeat because I'm telling you, this was the best meal of our lives.
The sushi you're gonna have at Sukiyabashi Jiro is very simple and it's very subtle in its flavors. So you're not gonna have your senses overwhelmed. It's gonna be something that you're gonna notice the nuances and the intricacies of every single piece.
Now, at Sukiyabashi Jiro, when you get your piece of fish, you're not gonna douse it in soy sauce. You're not gonna do anything to it. The way that the chef serves it is the way that you're supposed to eat it. And you're supposed to eat it like that because it's within those few seconds that they believe that the fish is going to taste the absolute best. And this is all about the best here.
And even with us dragging our feet, we were finished within 25 minutes.
I know that's gotta be crazy to hear. You spent over $300 a person for a 25-minute experience, but hands down, the best dining experience of our lives.
And for dessert, they move you from the sushi bar to a little table behind it, and they serve you cantaloupe. And I know a lot of you might be thinking, why are they serving you cantaloupe? But this is the most perfect, sweetest, juiciest cantaloupe we've ever had. I don't know how they make it or what they do to it, but it was fantastic.
The cantaloupe was a sweet ending to the most perfect dining experience in the world.
And so that brings us to the final question of, was it worth it? So immediately afterwards, Colette and I were reflecting on the meal. And I'm not the most emotional guy, but I started to cry.
All right, guys, we've got two LA kids that are so starstruck right now.
Just stop recording.
We've never been
Stop
starstruck.
recording.
I'm not afraid to admit it, but I realized that this was an experience that is going to be unforgettable. It was like watching Michelangelo paint the Sistine Chapel. It was like watching Beethoven compose in person. We know these artists are so legendary now, but they're dead. And this is watching an artist who's live in person, creating something that is so ephemeral, a piece of sushi that lasts for only a few bites and that's it. And we got to experience it together. And it was the culmination of a plan that had started 5 to 6 years prior, and the two of us had accomplished it together. And at that moment, we realized that this is a memory that the two of us will cherish together for the rest of our lives.
Oh. So Jiro is now 92 years old, and while he's alive and healthy, if you can go, please go now to experience this. It is so worth it. It might be expensive, and it might be really out of the way, but the journey and the process is just as rewarding as the destination.
Hey guys, I'm Scott.
And I'm Colette.
And if you liked our story and you are a fan of sushi, then please like and subscribe below.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.